And then Leonidas was struck with not one, but many arrows, and he died. The end.
That's it, Uncle Shady?
I said the end now, didn't I?
But it seems a little incomplete, Uncle Shady.
Well, the rest is history, Leroy. Go look it up yourself. I'm tired of talking, and I'm thirsty. So before you go look that up, get me a beer, and then I'm going to bed.
Okay, Uncle Shady.
Now sit your butt down.
The John LeBang Show will be right back.
And I promise you'll love it. Yes?
I'd like to take a quick second here to tell you about our new sponsor, Quality One Painting. For interior and exterior painting needs, call Tom at Quality One, 313-982-2986. Tom will give you free estimates, senior discounts, and I can tell you from meeting the gentleman, he's one of the nicest guys on the face of the planet. So for a quality paint job with a professional attitude, call Tom at Quality One Painting. That's 313-982-2986. 313-982-2986. Quality One Painting.
Hey, man, it's at the bottom of the hour, man. Do you know where your kids are, man?
If you want to contact the John LeBang Show, feel free to send an email to jlebang@live.com. And if you're on Twitter, look him up at John LeBang. And don't forget to go to his Facebook page at The John LeBang Show. Now here's John.
Well, I know I didn't get everything I wanted to say in the first segment there. There's just a lot going on with the entire social media platform and how they are colluding, ladies and gentlemen, they are colluding to affect the election. And I want to know, is there going to be a congressional hearing on that? How can you say that, John? How can you say social media is colluding to affect the upcoming election? Because they're attacking the alternative media, the media that was growing, getting larger and stronger, and the one who most affected the last election. And they can't have it. And because we can't have governments meddling in the election, because that's a bad thing, we got to have investigations about that. To avoid that, the social media giants have decided to begin on banning Alex Jones, and there's going to be a trickle-down effect. And they're doing that because it was the alternative media who was the most effective at expressing the ideas and the views and the truth than the mainstream media was. In fact, the mainstream media, for the most part, attempted to give you select information that fit the narrative, but it didn't work. You're going to see all that go away soon. Speaking of the, maybe one of the first stages of that would be like in a distraction type mode. And it was a little less than a year ago when we started talking about this QAnon guy. This guy on 4chan, this person, I should say, because we don't want to discriminate. We don't want to call it a man when it might be a woman. This Q figure was giving all this cryptic information out to everybody, and people were eating it up. We did a show I think it was at the end of October, beginning of November. So we're coming up pretty close to a year on that. About the QAnon situation and what this person was putting out. And unlike everybody in the alternative media who fell for this guy, I mean, there were channels on YouTube dedicated to telling you what Q was saying on 4chan. Because some of us apparently are too stupid to go to 4chan to get that information. And after that one show, then I said, I really didn't have an opinion on the guy yet, or the person behind this. It was weird. It was cryptic. And it could have been a psyop. And so many of the people in the alternative media fell for this because they want to fall for every little conspiracy there's out there. Every little conspiracy. And they thought it was Trump, somebody in Trump's administration, somebody good. Well, just recently, the New York Times released an op-ed from somebody in the administration, mind you. The op-ed was, "I am part of the resistance inside the Trump administration." Isn't that interesting, folks? Somebody inside the Trump administration with knowledge of pretty much everything that's going on is in there attempting to thwart the objectives of the president, who is elected by the people of America. People of the United States elected him. No Russian collusion affected the election. That's per almost every official that's spoke on the subject. They got to keep digging, though. Keep digging, because eventually we'll be able to get people like Manafort and Cohen on other charges that have nothing to do with Russian collusion. But I wanted to read a little bit of this to you because I really believe that we have found Q. And I never thought Q was a good thing. And I think we know now why things aren't getting done inside the administration. Let me read from this. "I work for the president, but like-minded colleagues and I have vowed to thwart parts of his agenda and his worst inclinations, whatever that might be." They get to decide those inclinations, not the American people, by the way. The New York Times is taking a rare step of publishing an anonymous op-ed essay. As per their website, they say this: "We have done so at the request of the author, a senior official in the Trump administration whose identity is known to us and whose job would be jeopardized by its disclosure." Damn right it would be. Because if Trump knew somebody was thwarting his agenda, was undermining his authority, was derailing his administration's policies, damn right they would be fired. They'd be gone in a minute. In fact, just that opening statement tells me that there is a coup inside the White House. There are people trying to derail the president's policies. Now, we wouldn't have stand for this during the Obama administration. The American people wouldn't have. In fact, they got mad when people would release information, no matter how much the information was damaging and showed the corruption inside the Obama administration. You know Edward Snowden, right? You remember that guy. He's a fugitive. He's a fugitive for doing very similar stuff, thwarting the agenda, or at least exposing the agenda. And there were many others. The Times continues, we believe this essay anonymously is the only way to deliver important perspective to our readers. So not only is the New York Times involved in derailing the president's policies, there are people inside the government, inside the White House, close to the president, who are there for one purpose only, and that's to derail his policies. Some of the people on the left are cheering right now. Yet if it happened to one of their presidents, they would be outraged. And that's the problem with this country, isn't it? We get outraged when it happens to us, but we can do it to someone else, can't we? It's okay then. It's okay to ban a bunch of media personalities from social media platforms because we don't agree with them. Wait till they come for you. Here's some excerpts from the article. To be clear, ours is not the popular resistance on the left. Listen closely, ladies and gentlemen. We want the administration to succeed and think that many of its policies have already made America safer and more prosperous. We're trying to pinpoint this here. Who is the person writing this article? I believe it's the same person that Q is. Now, what has gotten better? From that line, they're saying they're here. Some of the already popular stuff that has happened to make America safer and more prosperous. Well, to me, it's people who probably enjoyed the tax cut, which means that they probably have some business ties. Also, the military got a bump in money, and that would make America safer, I would imagine. So now we have people with business ties and military ties. Just from this article, we can see that we can tie a little this to somebody, connect a couple dots. We continue. We believe our first duty is to this country, and the president continues to act in a manner that is detrimental to the health of our republic. Not the people out there protesting for whatever reason they want to protest. Not the people in Ferguson, Missouri who burned down that city, or the people in Baltimore who burned that down. That's not detrimental to the health of the republic. All this negative talk about the president, all this posturing on the left is not detrimental to the health of our republic. But the president is. Yet the president, who may not like how he puts things, he hasn't done all that much to weaken the presidency any more than the Obama administration did. Sure, Obama looked cleaner. Obama played the part better. But when you have the Muslim Brotherhood running in and out of the White House, that doesn't destroy the credibility of the president. Let me continue. That's why many Trump appointees have vowed to do what we can to preserve our democratic institutions while thwarting Mr. Trump's more misguided impulses until he is out of office. See, it sounds like these people inside the administration think he's not going to be there too long. In fact, they're probably working against him in preparation for the re-election. We continue. This isn't the work of the so-called deep state. It's the work of the steady state. Now, of course, the deep state isn't going to think they're bad people, and they're going to consider themselves the deep state, don't you think? Nobody thinks they're the deep state government agenda people who just want to control everybody's life. Nobody's going to say that out in the open. So they're the steady state. Whoever this person is, they are definitely part of the deep state. The reporting's been always negative before he got in the election, before he got in the White House, after he was there, and all during it. They were talking about he was crazy beforehand. See, this was an agenda to put a dark stain on this presidency and this president. There were early whispers within the cabinet to invoke the 25th Amendment. The president's not stable. If they can't find a way to impeach him, They may use the 25th Amendment. Why is he unstable? Because he's doing things or saying things that are unpopular with the mainstream political